Hello and welcome to Nagaland TV. You are watching English Primetime News. I'll read the headlines to you now. Nagaland Assembly adopts 3-point resolution on concluding day of 2-day monsoon session. Resolution taken to resolve border dispute with Assam. Meghalaya and Assam holds second Chief Minister level talk on the interstate boundary dispute today in Guwahati. Chief Minister Nephew Rio says that COVID-19 pandemic has been highly disruptive and challenging for Nagaland. Also mentions state economy has witnessed deficit of rupees 1013.11 crore during 2021. PM Modi renames the highest sporting honor in the nation, Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratna Award, as Major Dhyan Chand Khel Ratna Award. Greece battles wildfires at heat waves and engulfs southeast Europe. At least 150 houses destroyed in raging fire on the Greek island of Evia. And now, the news in details. The Nagaland Legislative Assembly on Thursday held a marathon discussion on the recurrent border issue with neighbouring state of Assam and adopted a 3-point resolution to pursue the settlement after decades-long dispute. The development came nearly a week after the two states agreed to withdraw their armed forces from disputed areas in the Desoi Valley Reserve Forest. The State Assembly, after a lengthy deliberation on the matter listed under urgent public importance, resolved to approach Union Home Minister Amit Shah to ensure maintenance of status quo agreed between the two states in letter and spirit in the disputed areas. Until the issue is settled, the legislator advocated that the border dispute should be amicably settled outside the court by the two state governments by involving the local communities from both the sides. The House also unanimously decided to constitute a select committee led by Chief Minister Nephew Rio and comprising 10 members, including the two MPs from Nagaland, KG Kenie and Tokyo Yothomi, as invitees, to examine all aspects of the Naga-Assam border issue and submitted its report within 3 months. The two states that share over 500-kilometer stretch of interstate border have been engaged in and off confrontations.
Thank you, Speaker, sir. As we had discussed in this House, I beg to move that the House, after thorough deliberation on the Assam-Nagaland border issue, unanimously decided to pass the following resolutions. 1. The Select Committee of the House be constituted to examine all aspects of the Assam-Nagaland border issue and submit its report within a period of 3 months. The Select Committee shall consist of the following members: Chief Minister, Convener; Deputy Chief Minister, Co-Convener; Opposition Leader, Co-Convener, Mr. Paiwang Kodiak, member; Mr. Jacob Zemoni, member; Mr. Matang Yantam, member; Mr. Amemba Yadon, member; KG Kenie, member of Parliament, Rajya Sabha, special invitee; Mr. Tokyo Yothomi, member of Lok Sabha; and Commissioner, Nagaland, and Secretary in charge of Border Affairs as Member Secretary. 2. Request the Union Home Minister to ensure maintenance of status quo in letter and spirit in the disputed area till settlement of the border issue. 3. The border issue should be amicably settled outside court by the two state governments by involving the local communities from both sides. Thank you.
Chief Minister Neiphiu Rio on Thursday said that the COVID-19 pandemic has been highly disruptive and challenging. Rio also mentioned that it pulled down the state's economy to the tune of Rs 1,013.11 crore during 2021. Rio stressed the need for keeping a focus on saving livelihoods as well as lives during difficult times. He said lockdowns and restrictions have led to a sharp impact on the economic activities at the global and national level, and the state has not been spared. He said that in 2021, the state plan size was for Rs 639 crore, on which a pro rata cut of 15% was applied, reducing the plan size to Rs 572 crore. However, keeping in view the need to boost development activities, the state plan size for the current financial year has been enhanced to Rs 700 crore, which represents an increase of over 22% over the revised state plan outlay of last year. One of the many important issues discussed at the Nagaland Legislative Assembly session is the Assam-Nagaland border dispute. Shri Moatoshi Longkumar MLA, while speaking to Nagaland TV, stated that the interim agreement signed between Nagaland government and Assam government since 1972 should be abrogated. Longkumar said that Assam government had never implemented nor honored the agreement, and Nagaland government has always been put at disadvantage by depriving the Naga farmers of their livelihood, as they have to stop cultivating in those areas. He further stated that the CRPF, which is a neutral force under the command of additional IGP of Assam, always works in favor of Assam. Therefore, CRPF should be immediately replaced with BSF under the command of GOC 8 Mountain Division. The MLA stated that there was no question of give and take because Assam was occupied many lands of the Nagas. Nagaland should demand all hilly territories that have been transferred to Assam during the British rule since 1874. Only then negotiations could take place. MLA said that since Himanta Biswa Sharma became the CM, Assam government has become very aggressive by provoking all bordering states. Therefore, the state government should respond in equal measure to protect our land.
Government bra Assam government look the interim agreement since 1972 signed Korea Ahato. So abrogate Kuya Semoy. Assam government have never implemented nor honored the agreement. Amagan Kali Nagaland government need disadvantage hoy. Kyo limine status quo maintain waram de. It deprives the Naga farmers of their livelihood, because they have to stop the cultivation in all these areas. Therefore, considering all that, and after Himanta Biswa Sharma have become Chief Minister of Assam, the Assam government have become very aggressive and are provoking every sister states bordering Assam. Therefore, I have suggested that to state government that we have to be also aggressive and response in equal measures to protect our land. And I suggested for the assembly resolution, 3 assembly resolutions to abrogate all the interim agreement, because Assam have never honored it nor implemented it. Secondly, the CRPF, which is a neutral force under the command of additional IGB of Assam, Tarkan Amagan favor they come nowhere. They always work and act in favor of Assam. Therefore, they should be replaced immediately by the BSF under the command of GOC 8 Mountain Division. Number 3, Nagaland should demand all the hilly territories that have been transferred to Assam by the British government since 1874 we should demand all that land to be transferred back to Nagaland. Then only we can negotiate. Here the question of give and take does not arise because Assam have occupied many of our land.
The Directorate of School Education on August 5th issued a showcase notice to all the heads of schools, colleges and institutions in Nagaland who failed to comply with the directive issued on July 23rd. The directive issued stated that all educational institutions functioning within the state of Nagaland must submit its weekly COVID-19 vaccination status of teaching and non-teaching staff at the department's online portal from July 27th. A total of 135 schools, colleges and institutions failed to follow the official notification. The act of non-compliance is a violation of the Nagaland Right of Student Children to Free and Compulsory Education Rules 2010. The Directorate has ordered the 135 educational institutions to explain the reason of violation of the rule. The Directorate of School Education further stated that the failure to comply to these show cause notice will lead to appropriate action. The second round of chief ministerial talks held between Assam and Meghalaya today in Guwahati decided to adopt phase-wise approach to resolve issues over the 12 areas of differences according to the degree of complication involved in the dispute area-wise. Meghalaya Chief Minister Congrad Sangma informed that in the first phase, steps would be taken to resolve differences in 6 areas: Tarabari, Gizang, Fahala, Baklapara, Khanapara and Ratachera. These areas fall under Kachar, Kamrup and Kamrup Metropolitan Districts of Assam and Meghalaya Districts of West Khasi Hills and East Jaintia Hills. Both the Chief Ministers informed that these 6 areas of differences were being taken up in the first phase because of the issues involved are less complicated here. Both the states have decided to constitute 3.3-member regional committees each to start working jointly to resolve differences in these areas. Both the chief ministers hope that the decision taken in today's meeting would go a long way in finding final solution to the problems of interstate boundary disputes between the two states. Manipur Chief Minister N. Biren Singh on Thursday said that a proper solution is expected soon for the Naga issue. With state assembly elections just months away, Manipur is expecting an easy solution for troubles in areas dominated by the Naga communities soon. Manipur is affected by disturbances in its neighboring states. Recently, NSC and IM faction called for a shutdown in Naga-dominated areas of Manipur. Biren Singh further said that NSC and IM is a very chronic issue and there should be a peaceful solution without affecting the neighboring states. The minister is expecting of a positive outcome from the talks between NSC and IM and Centre. Amid COVID-19 pandemic, the livelihood of people has been adversely impacted, including small business and street vendors. Keeping this in view, the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs on June 1st last year launched a central sector scheme known as the PM Street Vendors Atmanirbhar Nidhi. The scheme was launched to facilitate microcredit for working capital to street vendors through lending institutions for facilitating resumption of their livelihood. In Dimapur, the registration process started in February 2020 and currently total registered members are over 3,000. Ganesh Sharma, Superintendent DMC, is in an exclusive interview with Nagaland TV discussed on the reasons behind the closure of clothing stores. Hardwares and accessories are still closed on Wednesday and Saturday.
Hello viewers, welcome to Nagaland TV. Sob Manulaga Awas. Aji amihan Dimapur Municipal Council office te aina ase. Yade ekta tahanla central scheme ekta social economic profiling of PM Swanidhi beneficiaries and their families. Eto scheme ekta central scheme ekta Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs eto hanwa launch kuri dia la ase June 1 2020 de. Aro yade ase gule do tahan street vendors kapra bika manohan aro eto sabji bikao manahan eto han ye loan dia ase aro kon startup kuro mon ja ase eto han ye bi loan dia ase tahan certificate aro tahan registration aro eto profiling kurina tahan ye loan dia ase aro eto ase gule do 5th August to 10th August 2021 this month kuri ase aro eto ase gule do tahan every month first week te kuro ko ase kona jane dise aro eto ase gule do tahan itia amihan tahan la head kan ye kotha kuro tahan jankari lo eto profiling lado ki kore ase aro system kan steps kan kinya ja ase eto tahani hodi sawo aiwi.
The government of Nagaland has launched an e-commerce platform named as Yellow Chain. Yellow Chain is the first ever e-commerce platform which was launched by the Chief Minister of Nagaland, Nephew Rio, on August 15, 2020. The centralized e-commerce platform aims to provide an integrated platform to the people to build and promote their products and services from their location itself and to provide a source of income and enhance their income as well. It is powered by Investment and Development Authority of India, headed by the CEO Untitled Chapter. The Dimapur unit has launched the first outlet among the other districts of Nagaland. Rajesh Shondararanjan, IASDC, Dimapur, along with NLTV, Jamir did the ribbon cutting and short speech was delivered by Rajesh Shondararanjan.
Computerization and the digital world is here to stay. We cannot avoid it in any case. Last night I was hearing a talk by Yuval Harari. I don't know whether you've heard his name or these are Friedman. They were having a conversation and people are talking about a brief history of tomorrow. History, we talk of the past. But they're talking of tomorrow and the entire thing is fixed on.
Nagaland Health Minister N. Pangyu Phom on Thursday informed that the government is preparing for the third wave of COVID-19. Several steps has been taken, including setting up a pediatric task force to oversee the department's preparedness. The department is also working to cover the entire population with vaccination as a protective measure in its fight against COVID virus. The pediatric task force has been set up under a senior director of the Health and Family Welfare Department. Moreover, experts has been drawn from private and public sector to look into the preparedness. The health department has also decided to strengthen infrastructural requirement and other areas. Health Minister also warned that the virus is still in its peak and people need to be cautious as the state prepares for the third wave. The state has administered a total of 781,656 doses of COVID-19 vaccines as of 30 July 2021. As per official data, Nagaland has 1,321 active positive cases. The Indian women's hockey team made history by qualifying for their first Olympic semi-finals, but they lost to Great Britain in a nip-and-tuck battle today. For the first time, the women's hockey team competed for a medal at the Olympics. This morning, they played their hearts out before going down 3-4 to Rio 2016 gold medalist Great Britain in the fight for bronze. Even before they left for the Olympics, not many gave them a chance to progress into the knockouts. But they did. In quarterfinals, they took on former champions Australia. They played with the kind of skill that the world associates with Indian hockey and the kind of pace no one had quite expected from them. They defeated Australia 1-0 on Monday to make their maiden Olympic semi-final. Congratulating Indian women's hockey team for their performance at the ongoing Tokyo Olympics, Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Friday had a telephonic conversation with the team. During the conversation, few team members got emotional and broke down during the conversation. During the conversation, Narendra Modi congratulated the whole team and appreciated them for their performance. He further said that after decades, hockey was reborn again on a global platform because of the entire team. The team went down fighting against Great Britain 3-4 in its fight for bronze medal.
और आपके कोच को सब
हाँ जी नमस्कार सर।
नमस्ते नमस्ते। देखिए आप लोग बहुत बढ़िया खेले हैं। आपने इतना पसीना बहाया पिछले 5-6 साल से सब कुछ छोड़ करके आप इसी में साधना कर रहे थे। आपका पसीना बदल नहीं आ सका, लेकिन आपका पसीना आज देश की करोड़ों बेटियों की प्रेरणा बन गया है। और मैं टीम के सभी साथियों को और आपके कोच को सबको बधाई देता हूं।
थैंक यू सर, थैंक्स अ लॉट। आपने इतना इनकरेज किया हमारी टीम को, सो थैंक यू सो मच।
निराश बिल्कुल नहीं होना है। अच्छा, मैं देख रहा था नवनीत की आंख पर कुछ चोट आई है।
हाँ जी, कल उसको चोट आई थी, उसको 4 स्टिचेस लगे हैं। तो
अरे बाप रे, मैं देख रहा था उसको काफी अभी ठीक है, उसकी आंख को तो कोई तकलीफ नहीं हुई है ना? और वंदना वगैरह सब बहुत बढ़िया किए आपने। सलीमा के तो सबको लगा है कि भाई सलीमा तो बहुत कमाल कर देती।
सर थैंक यू सो मच।
आप लोग रोना बंद कीजिए। मेरे तक आवाज आ रही है। देखिए, देश आज आपका पर गर्व कर रहा है। बिल्कुल निराश नहीं होना है। और कितने दशकों के बाद हॉकी भारत की पहचान फिर से एक बार पुनर्जीवित हो रही है, आपके लोगों की मेहनत से हो रही है।
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for your words, and the girls are very emotional at the moment, and I think there will be.
You have also tried your level best, and I can see that how you are encouraging our girls, and we are thankful to you.
Thank you very much, sir.
We wish you all the best for the future.
Thank you very much, sir, and I also.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Friday announced that the Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratna Award will now be known as Major Dhyan Chand Khel Ratna Award. Khel Ratna Award is the highest sporting honor in the nation. In a tweet, Narendra Modi said that he has been getting a lot of requests from citizens to rename the prestigious Khel Ratna Award after hockey legend Major Dhyan Chand. He further said that this decision was taken respecting the sentiments of the citizens of India. Khel Ratna Award was instituted in 1991-92 and the first recipient was chess legend Vishwanathan Anand. The now renamed Major Dhyan Chand Khel Ratna Award comes with a cash prize of rupees 25 lakhs. Known as the Hockey Wizard, Major Dhyan Chand played international hockey from 1926 to 1949, scoring over 400 goals in his career. Congress MP Rahul Gandhi and leaders from 14 opposition parties staged a joint protest at Delhi's Jantar Mantar on Friday. The protest was staged as a support for farmers campaigning against the centre's farm laws. Apart from Congress, DMK, Trinamool Congress, NCP, Shiv Sena, Rashtriya Janata Dal, Samajwadi Party and Aam Aadmi Party were at the protest. Representatives from CPM, CPI, the Muslim League and National Conference were also present at the protest. During the protest, Rahul Gandhi and other leaders were seen sitting in a tight group, some without masks. The protest against the farm laws have been rumbling on for several months. And now taking you to the Olympic updates. The history-making Indian women's team dream of securing its maiden Olympic medal remained unfulfilled as it lost 3-4 to Great Britain in a hard-fought bronze playoff match. True to its style, wrestler Bajrang Punia put his tactical acumen and strength to good use in the second period to pin Iran's Morteza Chekhargazi for semi-final berth in the men's freestyle 65 kg event, which took him closer to an Olympic medal on debut. But in the semi-final match, he lost, which is why now he will have to fight for the bronze medal. Golfer Aditi Ashok is currently ranked second after another stellar performance in round 3 in the women's individual stroke play. In the women's 20-kilometer race walk, Priyanka Goswami was with the leading pack in the first half of the race, being ranked first after 8 kilometers. It was, however, the end of the road for India's women's wrestler, with Seema Bisla blowing out in the first bout of women's freestyle 50 kg category. India has reported 44,643 new COVID-19 cases and 464 deaths in the last 24 hours. India's recovery rate now stands at 97.36. A total of 41,096 patients recovered in the last 24 hours, which brings the total recoveries to 3,10,15,844 across the country in the last 24 hours, with 4,14,159 active cases. Meanwhile, Nagaland's COVID-19 tally rose to 28,217 on Wednesday as 145 more people tested positive for the infection. The Ministry of Civil Aviation on Thursday said that no unmanned aircraft system shall be allowed to fly within 25 kilometers from the international border, including the line of control, line of actual control and line of ground position line. Replying to an unstated question regarding the regulation of drones, Minister of State for Civil Aviation V.K. Singh informed the Lok Sabha that Unmanned Aircraft System Rules 2021 have been notified on March 12, 2021. On whether the government distinguishes between drones used for professional videography and the unmanned aerial vehicles used for defense purposes, the ministry clarified that the provisions of UAS Rules 2021 are applicable to unmanned aerial vehicles for civilian purposes, including professional videography. The operation of UAVs for defense purposes is not covered under UAS Rules 2021. Xiaomi emerged as the #1 phone, surpassing Samsung as the largest smartphone in the world by volume for the first time ever. In June 2021, according to data released by Counterpoint Research, Xiaomi has overtaken Samsung due to a number of combined factors in June 2021. Although it still remains #2 behind Samsung if the entire second quarter is taken in account, Xiaomi's global smartphone shipment market share for June 2021 was 17.1%, followed by Samsung with 15.7% of the market share at second place, and Apple with 14.3% of the market in third. After Xiaomi and Apple, Samsung, Oppo and Realme feature in the top 5 vendors list. French tycoon Bernard Arnault, the chairman and CEO of the French luxury conglomerate LVMH Moet Hennessy Louis Vuitton, has become the world's richest person after Amazon founder Jeff Bezos' net worth fell $13.9 billion in a day. According to Forbes' real-time billionaires list, Arnold, whose subsidiaries consist of high-end fashion companies such as Louis Vuitton, Sephora, Moët, Chandon and Tiffany's & Co., held the net worth of $199.1 billion on Thursday. Meanwhile, Jeff Bezos' real-time net worth stood at $193.8 billion, while that of Musk was at $184.7 billion. At least 150 houses have been destroyed by a raging fire that surrounded a monastery and a dozen villages on the Greek island of Evia, one of the over 100 blazes burning in the country. Firefighters were also continuing to fight a blaze near Athens on Thursday morning, while the mayor of Olympia, the birthplace of the Olympic Games, pleaded for help as flames threatened the site. The blazes erupted as Greece is in a grip of a heat wave. Experts have warned that global heating is increasing both the frequency and intensity of such fires. On Evia, the huge flames leaping up from the forest could be seen from the sea. Firefighters said it was a difficult blaze to control on the island of rolling hills with little visibility. Some 100 firefighters backed by 7 helicopters and water-booming planes were fighting the blaze, civil protection officers said. Match between India and England resumed after rain stopped play just after 11 balls on the third day, with India at 132 for 4. India is currently reeling on 175 for 5 after 60 overs. KL Rahul will be the key player for India as he's holding the innings from the one end by remaining unbeaten on 70 even after Rishabh Pant departed after a quick-fire 25 of 20 balls. The second day saw the play being called off early due to bad light, and fans wish the weather remained better on day 3 in Nottingham. With more to play on day 3, India has a strong chance of taking a solid lead in the match. But England bowlers will hope they can restrict them to below 200 to put themselves back into contest. That is all for now. This is Gargireka signing off. Keep watching Nagaland TV for more news and updates.